Over the past year, your workouts might have looked a little something like this. Okay, so maybe I'm exaggerating, but I'm sure you'd agree that home workouts in lockdown looked very different from working out at the gym, so let's talk about it. Hello everyone and welcome to Active Advancement. My name is Katie and I share research-backed knowledge and strategies with the goal to empower you to lead an active lifestyle and advance in your self-development journey. It's the middle of 2021 when I post this video, and depending on where you live, gyms may still not be open and you may be struggling with motivation to exercise. In this video, I'll be sharing practical tips and lessons that I've learned over the past year of working out from home without the gym. These tips are all about making home workouts fun and sustainable and will ultimately help you to feel more motivated to exercise. I'll also be sharing lots of resources and equipment recommendations. Many of these tips can also be applied going forward, even after returning to the gym and other quote-unquote normal settings. I think these tips can be helpful for you regardless of when you're watching this video, where you live, or if you even exercised at the gym prior to lockdown. And this entire video is based on the understanding that motivation to work out from home is very different from working out at the gym. So the way I'm going to be sharing these tips is by telling my story and describing the major milestones that occurred throughout my journey. Despite encountering many obstacles along the way, I've been able to maintain a pretty consistent exercise routine. So I'm going to be explaining what I tried, what worked for me, and also what didn't work so well. This has been such a transformative year for me, and I've experienced so many important mindset shifts that have helped me to develop a much healthier relationship with exercise. And I feel very grateful that I've been able to safely work out from home during this time that has been difficult for so many people for different reasons. At the end of this video, I'll be revealing whether I plan to go back to the gym or continue with home workouts. Finally, I want to note that this is just a snapshot of a year of my fitness journey that started several years earlier. So to provide some context, before the lockdown, I exercised at the gym very regularly, and I had a membership to my local gym as well as my school's gym. And I had been consistently exercising 6 times per week for several months, doing a variety of different activities. And this included things like group fitness classes, weightlifting, cardio workouts, and some home workouts. One of the things that helped me to be very consistent before lockdown was using a calendar to schedule my workouts. I also used a habit tracker, which motivated me to want to continue to keep my workout streak alive. So during this time, I had developed some really great momentum and I was very motivated to work out. During this video, I'll be relocating to represent all of the different spaces that I mainly worked out in during the different phases of my home workout journey. Which brings me to my next point, that your environment matters. I recommend designating a specific location for your workouts. At the beginning of lockdown, I felt very enthusiastic about having additional free time, which came with the opportunity to work out more consistently and often. I learned that home workouts are convenient because you save time by not having to commute. At the beginning of lockdown, I tried a variety of different home workouts, mainly by following free videos on YouTube. I learned that there's a lot of information available for free and that it's a good idea to use these resources. I also found it was good to follow along with these videos because they were created by instructors and trainers with expertise in this area. And they also push you to challenge yourself more than you might have otherwise. So I preferred this over creating my own workouts. The biggest obstacle I faced at the beginning was a lack of access to a facility with equipment. And I realized that I wouldn't be able to do the same types of workouts that I was doing before. Throughout the year though, I did end up purchasing and using various different types of equipment, which I'll be sharing for the rest of this video. In my opinion, equipment can matter if you want it to. At this point, I was incorporating light dumbbells into my workouts, which I already owned, as well as resistance loops, which I had purchased online. Around this time, I also added more stretching into my routine. I set a goal to stretch for 30 minutes daily, and I will say that I have been very consistent with this stretching. A few months into lockdown, I started lacking motivation and I craved the group fitness classes that I used to attend and had been missing out on. So I decided to purchase a subscription to Beachbody On Demand. These were the same classes that had been offered at my gym, which offered me a sense of familiarity and comfort with these workouts. Les Mills On Demand offers workout videos with a variety of different training styles and equipment requirements ranging from body weight only to incorporating resistance bands and dumbbells, but what all of these workouts have in common is that they're all choreographed to music. For several months, I really enjoyed doing these workouts and I was very consistent with the Les Mills classes. A big difference between home workouts and working out at the gym is that there's a lack of community at home, and the community aspect of the gym matters. For obvious reasons, these videos couldn't recreate the sense of community that I had previously experienced when doing the workouts in person. So my recommendation, which is something that I didn't do, would have been to instead attend live workout classes. Another reason holding me accountable for doing these workouts was that I had paid for a subscription, similar to paying for a gym membership, and so that motivated me to actually use the subscription. So I'm just putting this out there that it may be beneficial to use monetary incentives to motivate you, but as I previously mentioned, there are a lot of free resources available that you don't have to pay for, so just use this tip at your discretion if you think it would work for you. So up to this point, I didn't have a specific routine, and I would just select the Les Mills classes that I was in the mood for on a particular day. But then I discovered that they offered programs, and this was very motivating to me at first because I liked the idea that these programs had been designed by experts to help you achieve specific goals. I also liked the idea of not having to think about which workouts to do every day. So I think that following programs can be motivating, but I'll return to this point later. After a while, I got bored of these workouts because they were all a very similar style. I also didn't like following the programs anymore and feeling like I had to do certain workouts on certain days. This was when I lost a lot of motivation and excitement to work out. So at the beginning of July, my Les Mills subscription was coming to an end, and I decided to change up my routine by trying out Beachbody On Demand. This was another paid subscription which offered a massive library of workout programs and resources. After searching through all the different options, I decided to start out with 80-Day Obsession, and I'm sure from the name of this program, we can see where this is going. At this point, I do want to offer a trigger warning in case you've experienced challenges with over-exercising or with your relationship with food, because I personally did face some challenges while doing this program. If this applies to you, I would encourage you to skip to the next chapter in this video. 80-Day Obsession consisted of a different workout every day for 80 days. You would work out 6 times per week, and the workouts would range in length from 30 to 60 minutes per day. The workouts were intermediate in difficulty level and used a variety of equipment, including dumbbells, resistance loops, and sliders. I was very eager to start this new challenge, and I was motivated to be disciplined enough to make it to the end of the 80-day program. And at the beginning, I really enjoyed the workouts and looked forward to them every day. In addition to these workouts being a lot of fun, something else that I liked about this program was the emphasis on prioritizing your nutrition to complement your exercise habits. I followed the suggested meal plan and was provided with many informative resources which helped me to learn more about food. This meal plan basically indicated the number of servings of different food groups that I should be eating and when I should be eating each of these servings. I would say it was pretty similar to your typical food guide. Part of this did involve keeping track of the servings of food that I was eating, but I wasn't necessarily tracking macros or calories. And I would say that I don't think there's really anything wrong with tracking your food for a brief period of time like this, because it can actually be a really great learning experience. I personally continue to keep these guiding principles in mind to this day when making decisions about food. So in the long term, this program actually did help me to get to a point now where I have a much healthier relationship with food. This program also emphasized the importance of getting enough sleep, and I had a great routine and was consistently getting around 8 hours of sleep each night. During the program, I was waking up at 5:30 a.m. pretty much every day to get my workout in first thing in the morning. This was because the program suggested a timed nutrition approach, which meant that I needed to structure my meals around my workouts. So this actually did really work to motivate me, but I am not suggesting that you should wake up or work out at that time too. And I'm also not suggesting that you should schedule your entire day and life around your workouts and eating. My suggestion is to find a time of day that works best for you to work out and create a routine which can help you to be more consistent with your workouts. In addition to my program workouts, I also discovered a love for going on walks and bike rides outdoors around this time. So my suggestion is to try and incorporate outdoor movement into your routine as well. Something that I disliked about this program was the emphasis and pressure that it placed on aesthetics. And this was through things like taking progress photos and body measurements throughout the program. However, I did find it beneficial to track my progress in different ways, such as by keeping track of the weights that I was lifting, as well as keeping track of my workouts in a program calendar. So what I learned here is that it's important to track your progress in ways that are most meaningful for you. So as the weeks went on, I started to feel discouraged because I wasn't experiencing the results that were promised by this program. And I'm going to leave the term results up to your own interpretation because I honestly still don't know what it means, and I know that it means different things to different people. Basically, what I learned here is that you shouldn't work out for the purpose of achieving this ambiguous idea of results. Also, at this point, I was working out 6 times per week, plus I was teaching virtual fitness classes 2 times per week. On top of that, I was going on very long walks each day for over an hour. And as I mentioned before, I was on a very strict meal plan, which involved having no cheat days. Again, interpret this how you like, for the entire program. So as you can imagine, all of this caused me to feel very exhausted and drained. What I learned from this experience is that it's really important to not overdo it when pursuing your fitness goals. So I actually never finished 80 Day Obsession because it got too repetitive. I wasn't enjoying it anymore. I was experiencing a lot of burnout and it just wasn't sustainable for me. And I dropped out just a few weeks before making it to the end of the program. I don't really have any tips for this part of the video, but I wanted to open up about the slump that I experienced from when I ended 80 Day Obsession in September until around the beginning of January. And I pretty much just wanted to take this time to normalize workout slumps and burnout. So during this time, I did still have my Beachbody subscription and I tried out some of the different programs, but none of them really resonated with me. I also had returned to school at this point and had a lot less free time, and so I reduced my number of workouts from 6 to 4 times per week. With the colder weather, I also went for walks much less frequently. However, I did continue stretching almost daily. During this time, I lost motivation, I was discouraged, and I no longer looked forward to my workouts. And it was sad that exercising, which was once something that had given me so much joy and energy, had turned into something that I had to do rather than getting to do. In an attempt to regain motivation, I started structuring my own weightlifting program. But this didn't last very long and I didn't enjoy it. And this makes sense because, again, I personally like having someone else structure my workouts for me. So the lesson here is that slumps are normal, but if you do fall into a slump, I just wanted to remind you that you are capable of recovering. One of my suggestions to help you regain your motivation is to think back to your why for exercising. So how did I recover from this slump situation? My friend who also had a Beachbody subscription suggested that I should join her for a new program called Transform 20. This program consisted of intense 20-minute workouts using an aerobic step, or in my case, a Wii Fit board, 6 times per week. I modified this program to do it 4 times per week and I combined it with my weight training routine, but even still, I found it really difficult to get these workouts in. However, having an accountability buddy was really fun, and it motivated me to try harder than I otherwise would have. For the last day of the program, there was a 60-minute workout planned. And having not completed a workout that long in many months, I didn't have the confidence that I would be able to get through it, especially considering that I was struggling to get my 20-minute workouts in at the time. So the day arrived to do the 60-minute workout and I completed it, which was honestly a really empowering experience. So my lesson learned from this is that you should challenge and prove to yourself that you are capable of doing difficult things. The end of Transform 20 aligned with my winter break from school. And after that, my friend and I did lower intensity workouts together for a week to recover. Before this, I had actually never heard of the concept of a recovery week. This was something that I had never intentionally programmed into my workouts. But I realized that I desperately needed this time to take a week off because remember, before lockdown I was working out 6 times per week and I had never given myself a break. So the lesson here is to give yourself intentional breaks in your workout routine. This doesn't necessarily mean that you have to completely avoid training during this time, but it is a good idea to dial things down every once in a while. On top of having recovery days throughout your routine, recovery weeks can also be a good idea. At the beginning of 2021, my Beachbody subscription was coming to an end, and so I decided to try out some new workouts on YouTube. Having heard a lot of great things about Sydney Cummings, I wanted to check out her channel and see what all the hype was about when it came to her workout videos. And I haven't looked back since because I absolutely love Sydney's workouts. I think the best part about her channel is that there's such a variety of workouts to choose from because she uploads a new video every single day. My personal favorite are her strength training workouts, which often involve using dumbbells. Her videos are also intended to be followed as a program, but as we've learned, I have a bit of a history with programs, so I just choose whatever workout I'm in the mood for on a particular day. I've learned that I personally don't like the rigidity of programs, but if you like programs and they work for you, then do programs. The bottom line is just to find what you like to do and do what works for you. And simply don't do the types of workouts that you don't enjoy doing. Now, I'm not saying not to work out at all or not to challenge yourself, but I do think you should try to find the balance where you're challenging yourself while also enjoying the process. This practice of doing the types of workouts that I enjoy doing has helped me to regain my motivation and my love for exercise. Around this time, I also upgraded my speaker, and this has been an absolute game changer. I just wanted to throw in this little tip because music has been something that I've relied on to get me through all of my workouts, and so it might be helpful for motivating you as well. In December, I ordered a treadmill. Now, this treadmill didn't arrive until February, and it was unquestionably the biggest purchase of my life, but also probably one of the best purchases. Also, I never would have thought that I would be the person to buy a treadmill, but here we are. So the point of me sharing this with you is that I want to come back to that idea that you don't need fancy equipment to maintain a home workout routine. But like in my case, if there is a piece of equipment that you genuinely know that you'll use frequently and you can afford to make the purchase, then I think it could be worth the long-term investment in your health. I love having this treadmill because I enjoy taking short breaks to go on walks throughout the day. It's also super convenient. Also, just a side note, I've never actually used this treadmill to go for a run yet. I mainly just use it to go on walks or to do 12-3-30 workouts. To pass the time during my treadmill workouts, I like to watch YouTube videos. So despite all of these ups and downs throughout my lockdown fitness journey, I can say that it's helped me to finally have a healthy relationship with exercise these days. I'm continuing to work out 4 times per week, which generally consists of 3 resistance training sessions and 1 cardio-based workout. I'm also continuing to stretch for 30 minutes each day, which is basically the only thing that stayed consistent over the past year. And because I spend most days working at a desk, I also like to incorporate walks, even if they are short walks, on most days of the week. So my biggest takeaway from all of this is that you should prioritize finding balance and enjoying daily movement in whatever form you like best. And this includes finding small ways to add in movement throughout the day wherever you can. Yes, I do still miss the gym, and I do fully intend on going back to the gym eventually. But until then, I do feel motivated, disciplined, and skilled enough to continue working out at home for the time being. So if you're like me and you relied on the gym before lockdown, it's totally normal to miss the gym and feel discouraged. However, there are different resources and strategies that I've described in this video that you can use to stay motivated. I firmly believe that you can maintain a fitness routine from home, and a lack of access to a gym doesn't have to be an excuse. So if you've been debating whether to start working out until gyms reopen, this is your sign to start today. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, I would be so grateful if you would subscribe, give the video a like, hit the bell so you're notified when I upload, share this video with a friend, and be sure to follow me on Instagram. By doing this, you're helping to grow this community so that we can empower more people to make healthy decisions and work toward advancing their personal growth. Also, leave a comment below letting me know what you learned during your lockdown fitness journey. Until next time, this is your reminder to get in some daily movement and take action toward advancing in your life. Bye, everyone.